Hi there, good morning. I wasn't going to chat to you today, but I've had such an exciting morning. I thought I really must share it with you because it's really rather fascinating. I was talking to my son in Australia this morning, so we were Skyping and talking about his new garden. Oh, and various other things, of course. He's just bought 2 trees and various other things, and he's got other trees as well. And he's going to get a quince, which I'm so excited about. A quince and gooseberries. He's going to try growing gooseberries there. He's not quite sure how that will turn out because, well, it's not quite cold enough. I think that was the main reason. Anyway, he had been to visit a local orchard because the whole area where he now lives in Victoria, there used to be an apple growing area, and there's one orchard. It's Petty's Orchard. It's in, sorry, I'm rereading my notes. It's Templestowe in Victoria, which is where he went. He lives quite near there, in Heathmont, Victoria, and they've been there. Thomas Petty came out from England in 1853 and bought a property, and then he must have started growing apples. Then 3 generations of his family, the Petty family, have actually grown apples and managed this orchard on this site. It's along the Yarra River, and they've grown apples and all sorts of things, I suppose, other fruits, but they have over 200 varieties of old and rare apples. This is all new stuff to me, so I'm really reading it on the hoof. I'll try and get it into a better shape for my blog. So, which is so interesting. And they have a membership, of course, and they have events like grafting days and pruning days. And so my son's going to go to one of their grafting days because he wants to graft another apple on one of the apple trees he's already bought, so that he has a good variety. Because some apples, of course, aren't very good at they're not self-fertile. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you want a particular apple, you might have to have 2 or 3 other apple trees to make sure that your one particular apple is fertilized and is pollinated. So yeah, and of course you need a huge garden to have everything. But anyway, he's got quite a few, or will have quite a few by the time he finishes, and which is terribly exciting. Of course, I'm going to go out to Australia next year to see them, so that'll be really lovely. And of course, I can blog from there too, so you can see all the things I'm seeing, which will be very interesting. I do love apples, but the whole idea of apples being preserved and looked after, I think, is wonderful. It is our history and our culture and our society. We are what we eat, and the food that we eat is what we planted and we've developed, and it's all fascinating. And we here in England have had, well, I think at one stage there were over 6,000 different varieties of apples. Of course, a lot of them didn't travel. They were local apples only. You had to pick them and eat them straight away. They didn't even travel to the next village. And of course now it's all entirely different. We have just a few apples that are mainly sold in our supermarkets, although of course there's still garden apples and still wildings and still lots of apples out there, but of course they're not commercially grown because they are not commercially viable. That's just one of those things. Again, but I think the fact that history has given us these fruit, it now behoves us to protect those fruits for viability, for seasonality, and genetic diversity. It's just fascinating. So as you know, I've just been to Brogdale recently, which is the home of the National Fruit Collection, and they have over 2,003 apples, different kinds of apples. I also came across a French apple growing and preserving society, so that's fascinating. So there's no doubt other societies throughout the world. I shall endeavour to find others. I just think it's fascinating. What else did I find? Oh, I know, you can, oh yes, my son's going to go on you can volunteer for Petty's Orchard and go and help them, so that's great. He's going to do that as well. And then I got onto YouTube and I was looking, I know they had a link to a Hampshire Apple Day Festival, and it's one of their links on their links page. This is the links page for the Heritage Fruit Society, which is a society that's linked with Petty's Orchard, and they have all these, they do all these things with apples. Anyway, I'm not explaining this very badly, aren't I? Anyway, so I found this link to this Hampshire Apple Day Festival. And then there were loads of other videos I hadn't realised on grafting and on pruning, winter pruning, summer pruning, restorative pruning, reinvigorating old trees. Just so much information out there. It is absolutely wonderful. Yes, so I'm terribly excited, and I haven't done anything this morning apart from walk Alice and have breakfast, and I've been on my computer, so I really must now get on. I've made that carrot cake that I wanted to make, as a practice, because I haven't made it for, what, I don't know, 10 years? That's not quite as long as that, but something like that. So I'm just going to finish that off and deal with that. And then I'm going out to see where my, the garden, to see where my composter is going to be sited. I have to be very careful with composting, new compost bins, that I make sure that it doesn't attract rats. Well, and all composter areas have to be terribly careful about rats, because they can, you just don't want that. So the main thing about not to get rats is not to have any meat product or dairy product infill in your composter and composting bin. So I'm just going to check that everything's all right from that. It still isn't up, but we're talking about getting it up, so hopefully soon. At least the rubbish, the compostable material, I should call it, has gone out of the kitchen, so that's good. It's a good step in the right direction. So yes, I better get on and go and do these, and I've still got loads of other things to do. And yes, well, and it's Sunday, and it's 12:30, and I really must get on. So I'm going to go and do that, and I hope you are enjoying your Sunday. I'm having a lovely time. It really is absolutely fascinating talking about apples. I just do love it so. And we were there in Covent Garden in 1990 when Common Ground held their first Apple Day celebration. We were selling my fudge and preserves and goodies as what else. So it's all terribly exciting. I feel I've got a link with them, so that's great. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now, and I shall see you another day. Okay, bye.